these are documents from the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. All these. And if you see the rot, in this, you will be amazed. All these are scholarship documents that I received from the Ghana Scholarship. Look, I cringed reading these documents. I cringed. The rot that happened under the former registrar. This particular one is one woman gets, I don't want to mention names.
Okay.
I'll say princess.
Poor and needy people.
No, they are not. Name princess. She gets a scholarship. She goes with her children, 3 of them. Ajovi, Akosia, Asiye.
The children are also awarded scholarship?
No, they are paid to come and stay with the mother to study.
Why?
And the spouse, the husband.
Is that how it works?
That is how Kisilajiman did it.
Is it legal?
I have no idea. And so this one, for instance, she has 3 children. She gets awarded a master's degree program. She gets paid for the master's program with stipends. Her husband gets paid to come and support the wife to study. Together with their 3 children. Together with
support us in how?
That's a baby. Is a baby also a scholarship student? That is the awardees children. That's the husband. That's another child. And I'll tell you, they pay their airfare. They pay
with taxpayers' money.
Yes. So for the 4, their visas, yellow fever card, ticket comes to about £90,000. And every month, the 3 children, the husband, everybody, each, not all of them, each gets £8,160 for supporting the mother to study. Do you think that is fair to the taxpayer of Ghana? And that is why NIB must move fast and make arrests and make people pay for this. People must refund. If you get a scholarship, and you think that you are a wife, and you are not ready to move away from your husband or your children, then stay in Ghana and study.
There are other universities.
Why should my taxes be paid to take care of you to come and read MBA in London?
When we have universities that can
come and read MBA. When you are coming, you bring your whole flock, including husband in tow. And the question I asked is, were the husbands not working? That they could move house and move to the UK to come and support their wives to study. No money share. And the husbands who also got it and came with their wives, the wives, what were they doing? So the children are moved out of school. 1 year, mother is coming to study. The whole family relocates.
And these are minors.
And this is why the Scholarship Secretariat could not pay these debts. This is why they could not.
Because the money was being channeled to other places.
It was being paid for airfare for whole family. Some of them had 4 children, some of them had 5 children, some of them had 3 children, plus spouse. Plus spouse.
All with Ghana taxpayers.
Yes. Plus spouse. So they were paying the tickets for them. They were paying them a monthly allowance for staying in the UK, all of them, the whole family. Because one person is coming to study MBA.
Well,
so Ghanaians, judge for yourself. Now I have to deal with this mess, and I have to be frank. I don't like coming to the media to discuss these issues, because I feel that we should do it behind the scenes. But the people that I'm dealing with
are not giving you the chance.
No, they go to the media first.
Yeah.
Trying to create the impression that we are not cooperating. So I have to let the Ghanaian people know that whatever you are reading from the people who run to the media first, that is not the truth. This is the situation at hand we are dealing with.
And watched the voice of Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Her Excellency Saba Zita Benson, publicly speaking on what she has probably inherited as she took over office as the High Commissioner. Indeed, as far as the scholarship scheme is concerned, very damning. This morning, right here on the dialogue, our responsibility is to delve deeper into this. What next after publicly coming out with this report? Would somebody pay for, and who exactly will be held accountable for all of this mess? Are our scholarships getting into the wrong hands? Who are these beneficiaries? For how long has Ghana been paying the wrong people to go study outside? Another question begging for answer is, do we really need to send people out there to go and study masters? What happens to our universities right here in the country? Folks, welcome to Dialogue. My name is Randy Ahadzi. Remember, the Dialogue is your favorite current affairs program that comes your way every Friday at 8:30 a.m. with a repeat on Saturday and also Sunday at 11 p.m. This morning, as I mentioned, our focus is on the video that we played a few minutes ago, the allegations leveled by the High Commissioner. Indeed, very damning, as I mentioned. I'll also introduce my guests that are joining me in studio for this great conversation in a jiffy. But so we don't lose the steam of the show, let me quickly introduce the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Her Excellency Saba Zita Benson. She's joined us via Zoom. I'll speak to her briefly before my guests in studio also join. Good morning, Excellency Benson. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good morning to everyone.
We are very fine back here in Ghana as well. First, let me put this question across. I mean, we have seen the video, we have seen the report. How damning are this per what you have seen so far?
Well, it's not. I just mentioned one name as an example, but there's a whole file upon file upon file of people who got this opportunity. It wasn't just one person.
Just about a year, 2 or 3 ago. How long has this been ongoing?
Well, I have to look at the dates. I don't want to give you any date, but it's been going on at least since he was registrar. People were being brought, and when one person gets the scholarship, whether it's the husband or the wife, the whole family is attached. They are giving allowances to come and stay with the awardee of the scholarship. Their travel their travel fees. This is the ticket, the yellow fever card, the visas are all paid. And there was one travel agent agency that was being used. They would collect like 3 invoices, but at the end, that particular agency always got the contract to do the processing of the visas, the ticket, and the yellow fever card. They paid for all these for the families. They paid for everything, including premium visa fees for the applicants.
Quite weird, but how did we get here? Is it lack of oversight responsibility of your predecessors, or is just the usual sorting party boys or friends and families? How did we get here?
I think it could be both. I think it could be both. I don't know who was supervising the scholarship secretariat. I heard it was the chief of staff's office back then, but I am not sure, so I can't say for sure. But I think maybe both of what you just said. Sorting people out. It could be anything. It could even be more than the 2 that you mentioned. It could be business. It could be anything.
Now, I have also come across the statement issued by the former administrator of the Scholarship Secretariat. He has vehemently opposed or denied the allegations or the statement that you have also issued. How do you react to that?
Well, it's laughable that he would deny it. I think he's insulting the intelligence of Ghanaians by saying that what I am alleging with evidence is false. The documents I showed in my video emanated from his office, the Scholarship Secretariat Authority. I didn't manufacture those documents. I didn't manufacture the travel agencies in those documents. I didn't manufacture the names and of the awardees and family members who he brought here and used our taxes to pay to come and support one person to study a course that can be studied in Ghana. I didn't manufacture all those things. So I think he is rather insulting the intelligence of Ghanaians by denying it, by saying that what I'm saying is false. It is not false. All the documents I have came from his office. It has a signature. His names are on it all over. And it's just because I don't want to, put people, the awardees and their families, I don't want to put their names out there. So he shouldn't, he should be careful. And this is the same man. In his release, he said that the matter is under investigation. But if you recall, on May 5th, when we heard that he had been invited by BNI and had been granted bail, and we posted same, he came out to deny. If you go to Joy FM on May 5th, go and Google it, May 5th, 2026. He came to deny that he had not, he said he had not been arrested and he's not under investigation. So how come that now that the issues are out in the public, he's claiming that the case is under investigation and so I shouldn't talk about it? I thought he said he was not under investigation. Wherein lies the truth? Is he under investigation or is not under investigation? Because going by his May 5th interview to Joy FM, that he said he wasn't under investigation. I was shocked that today he's admitting in his letter that he's under investigation, and so we shouldn't talk about it. So I'm glad that today he's admitting that he's under investigation, because I want this issue to go under investigation. I feel that the taxpayers' money was used recklessly, and someone needs to be held accountable. So if today he has confirmed that he's under investigation, then my heart is at rest. Then I will leave the investigations to go on. But based on what he said in his May 5th, 2026 interview on My Jaw Online, that he's not under investigation, I am assuming he's not under investigation. And so I'm calling on NIB to investigate
I was
this
going to
matter.
ask you, what next? Yes, indeed, you are okay that he has admitted that he's under some sort of investigation, but you are in charge now as far as the commission or the High Commission is concerned. What next beyond revealing the rot in there? What next? Are we seeing some other security agencies taking up this whole issue up?
Yes, I am personally going to send a petition to Yoko. I know the NIB is handling it, but I'm personally going to send a petition to Yoko to handle this matter, because I know it will be fast-tracked.
Does this not raise some pertinent questions about the entire system, issues about transparency? And again, you alluded to the fact that why do we send people to UK to study masters? What happens to our own universities here in Ghana? What reforms ought to be done?
It's not just a matter of sending people to the UK to study masters. If the course is such that it's not offered in our universities and is a course that we need for the development of the country, then we can send people to come and study such special courses. But when we are sending people to come and study things like policy, MBA, which can be studied in all the universities in Ghana, nursing and all those courses that can be studied in Ghana, why don't we give them local scholarships to study those courses in Ghana instead of incurring these huge sums? Look, the debt that I'm dealing with is about, right now, it used to be about 35 million, but now that I found out that in 2025-2026 academic year, the same registrar brought in 189 students amounting to 3.2 million pounds that can even build a university or equip our universities back home. The PhD cohort alone, we owe 5 million pounds. Labra University, we owe £500,000. So we are not talking about small monies. And these debts started from 2020. 2020, it didn't start when I took office. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start in 2023. The debt starts from 2020. And this man was in office from 2020 to 20, he was in office till all this while. What did he do about and the debt when he was in office? But yet he extended the program, not just for awardees alone, but to include families. And it included families of awardees of people who could afford.
So indirectly, we have scholarships in the wrong hands. You agree with me that this is actually not the first time we are hearing. A similar thing is happening with the cocoa scholarship as well. But I asked about reforms. As you are in charge now, what are you going to do? What are you putting in place as a measure to ensure that, look, these scholarships go into the hands of the people who really deserve it?
The Scholarship Act has been passed. The Scholarship Act 2025 has just recently been passed. And I know that there are some reforms in the Act. So now they'll be looking at specialized courses and people who are studying specialized courses to fund. We're looking at keeping the courses that are not so specialized in Ghana. To those monies can go to the development of our own universities to make it world class. So, but I am not really in charge of scholarship. I'm only the High Commissioner. The Ghana Scholarship Authority is in charge of scholarships. So they award scholarships, they do all the reforms. What we do as High Commission is to disburse payments when it gets to us. And most of the time, when payment is delayed, then we are now at the receiving end from the students that we are delaying their payments. So the scholarship, we take instructions from the scholarship secretariat.
Anyway, before you, I leave you again. Should we take a second look at how we award these scholarships based on the needs of the people who apply? Would there be a proper investigation, background checks, and all of that? Is that captured in the reforms that you mentioned in the new act?
Yeah, it's in the act. The act specifies those specialized courses that are not offered in universities in Ghana. So it's going to be based on special circumstances going forward. But in the past, it was free for all.
Do we have people who are still continuing the list of the people you have? Do we still have some who are still in school benefiting from the scholarship with their families?
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any of that. If they are there, then they haven't shown themselves to me. I haven't met them yet. But I have the list. I have the files there, but I haven't met them yet.
Thank you so much for your time. Maybe your final words on this, and then we can let you go.
My final words is just that I think that this issue must be investigated because the person whose name keeps coming up keeps denying it, and the truth must come out. And the truth must come out if the truth will come out if it is well investigated. And so I'm challenging the authorities who are already investigating this to move fast so that Ghanaians will know the extent of the damage. Because I have seen the documents and I'm telling you, it doesn't look good. And the man who perpetrated it is saying that is false. It is not false. He's just insulting the intelligence of Ghanaians. He thinks that if he throws it out there that is false, then it will stick on people's minds that it is false. It is not false. It is not false at all. So they should expedite action and investigate immediately.
A question from a viewer for you. The person asked, if indeed in the coming days you find out that the list of persons you have, there are some who are still on some programs together with their families, as you mentioned, will you discontinue their education?
We have introduced reforms, and what we are doing is that we've asked all students to come and reaffirm with us. We are trying to verify everybody. The list that will come and verify going forward is the list that we are going to work with. So I'm using this medium to tell all students to come and verify and reaffirm. because that's the list that we are going to pay. So if you don't reaffirm and you don't come and verify, don't blame me if you don't receive your payment, because I've received second quarter payments to disburse, and that we have also like I'm saying, we have introduced these reforms. So if you want to follow the people telling you not to come and reaffirm, well, the PhD cohort who are telling you that we don't owe them tuition, I think we owe them stipends, and that's why they sent the petition to the Prime Minister of the UK. So if you want to follow them, then each one for himself.
Vero, thank you. We appreciate your time this morning.
You are welcome.
Vero. Viewers, there you heard the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Her Excellency Zita Saba Benson, speaking to us on this whole scholarship brouhaha. Our topic for the morning is public funds, private benefits, examining the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat crisis. She's enumerated all that we have to know, setting the tone for the conversation right here on the dialogue. Joining us via the same medium Zoom is Dr. Prince Komla Bansa. He is the president, PhD cohort in the UK. Earlier this year, they issued more like a statement indicating that they would stage a protest because stipends were not being paid, allowances were not being paid, and what have you. Fast track to August, here we find ourselves with the High Commissioner telling us some of the reasons why they find themselves in this debt. Let me just welcome him before I get to my guest in studio. Thank you so much, Doc. Good morning.
Morning, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's unfortunate, if you can hear me, it's unfortunate that the arrangement has been a bit, difficult, but, I just squeezed myself in my small office at home to just speak to you.
Grateful. Thank you. Despite the short notice as well, you've been able to make time for us. I'll come back to you, and I believe you've listened to the High Commissioner, so you can make your input on that. But let me also welcome Richmond Akpa. Rich, good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
How are you doing? Very well. I mean, so let me pick your initial reactions. You listened to the High Commissioner, you follow this story as well. What's your initial reactions quickly?
Randy, thank you for having me. I think the conversation around the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat is one that deserves very serious attention. Because looking at this matter, it's simply not about politics or about the individuals involved, the ambassador or the former registrar of the Secretariat. It's about the use and management of public resources, whereby we've come to a stage where we don't have much as a country. Young Ghanaians want jobs, yet the little taxes that we are raising in terms of revenue are being used to sponsor people to have education abroad. Yeah. The equal opportunity that it gives to young Ghanaians that are very brilliant, but then very needy. However, the institutional integrity of the National Secretariat for Scholarships currently has nothing good to write about. Yeah. What about accountability? Yeah. As finance people, once revenue is being generated and then expenses are being made, there needs to be accountability. Yeah. We are hearing this morning that the ambassador is saying that just in the year of the High Commissioner, in the year of 2025, about 185 students in just a short period of how many weeks was the former administration in power in 2025 were sent to the UK for education. What about the other countries that have not come abroad?
This is just UK.
This is just UK, and about 3.5 euros are being spent on this. Are we even having the money, or are we just spending before looking for the money? The current administration is propounding and preaching about fiscal discipline, spending when the resources are available. We are taking students out of this country to do courses that the universities in Ghana are offering. The University of Ghana is there. The University of Professional Studies is there. King UST is there. Do you know the kind of infrastructure development these 3.5 million euros can give to these schools? Just 189 students. And we are spending so much. Master's programs in Ghana are very right. If you go through the system, I did an MSc with the University of Ghana, an MSc in Accounting and Finance. What you study in the UK is not very different from what we do in Ghana. Those who are going to do science courses, technology courses, and PhD courses, I think they have a very good argument. Because some of this research, you need an external view, a different peer view when it comes to these things. But courses that we could do here in Ghana, why go do it abroad? The disheartening part of the whole issue is families, dependents. One person gets a scholarship and has about 4 dependents, denying other 4 brilliant Benidi students to go study abroad. If you look through the documents, you see that people who are very well resourced are also getting these scholarship opportunities. Ministers of states, leaders of our parliamentary arm of government are also getting these opportunities. Where is the institutional integrity of the scholarship secretariat? But then the issue should not just be about the leadership. If it's just about the leadership, just changing the registrar into another registrar would have solved the issue. But you could see that no. I looked through the Get Fund appropriation, and you see that over 200 million Ghana cedis is going through to fund all these scholarships year on year. What is the fiscal discipline that we are talking about? But the main question here this morning is, how do we build a scholarship secretariat that is transparent? A scholarship secretariat that is merit-based, not scholarship just be given to people who are politically exposed. Because see, not everybody who is politically exposed is merit-based. Somebody is getting this scholarship just because he or she knows somebody.
He shouted to boy.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we want to build a country based on knowledge. There is science, technology, mathematics, and engineering that we are all preaching everywhere. STEM education. If we look at the infrastructure development happening, currently we have a STEM school here in East Legon. Do you know how much 3.5 million euros could do to that school? The Ahadzi University currently, Academic City University, these schools are offering cyber security and AI courses. Why don't we fund this school, give them grants, and send Ghanaian students there and pay their fees? The University of Ghana is charging about 16 to 18,000 for regular students, about 20-something thousand, 30,000 for weekend courses. That's about less than 2,000 euros and then less than 3,000 euros for a whole course. And then we are spending about 3.5 million. The 3,000 euros that you spend on one student to have an education at the University of Ghana could give you about almost 1,000 students having access to that. We are denying our younger brothers and each other the access to affordable education, which is not right.
Okay, Richmond, there is a call for accountability and transparency. I'll come to you on that. And this is where I wrote my colleague Karim. He has a very keen interest in the conversation. Richard Suma will join us. Prince is still on. Prince, I'll get to you. Bright is still on. I'll get to you in a jiffy. But Karim, you add your voice as well. I mean, I asked that question. Here are good universities in Ghana, to the point that almost every region is going to get a university. Why do we even waste our money sending people to Europe to just go and study the same things that we can study here in Ghana?
Randy, thank you very much. Good morning to you. Good morning to our cherished viewers here watching us.
And hold on, I must just put on record that personally, we have tried so hard to get the current administrator of the scholarship secretariat. I won't believe you also tried yesterday. I sent messages, I called several times, no responses till this morning. That's why we are unable to get him this morning.
So like I was saying earlier, good morning to you, good morning to our cherished viewers. Of course, good morning to my brother Richmond and Bright, who's also joined us online as well. It's unfortunate. Let me start from there. Very unfortunate, and we can discuss this issue and look at it from multiple points of view. We can pick it from the part of why are we giving scholarships to people we should not be giving scholarships to. We can pick the conversation from the part of why are we giving people scholarships to go and study programs that they can study in Ghana. We can pick it from the point of why are we giving scholarships to the immediate family of scholarship beneficiaries, right? And we can also pick it from the point of how are we even giving those scholarships out in the first place. So it's a broad conversation that we can look at. Let me pick it first from the point of why are we giving scholarships to people to go study programs that they can study in Ghana. I have done all my studying in this country. I did my basic education, did my senior high school education, did my undergraduate education, did my first master's, my second master's, and in fact, planning to start my PhD, all in this country called Ghana. So I want to understand why we would just get up and allow anybody at all to be able to come to us with any program at all and say, I want a scholarship to go abroad and go and study. And we dish out the scholarships as though we are dishing out sweets for Christmas, as though we are serving Christmas jollof rice, without thinking about the impact that it has on the public purse, without thinking about the impact that it has on the Ghanaian taxpayer. Because mind you, it is taxpayers' money that is taken out and doled out as scholarships for people to go out and study. The notion is that when you go and study, you're coming back home with the knowledge that you have acquired, with the expertise that you have acquired, with the experiences that you have acquired, to come back and contribute to the development of our country. We cannot lie that we are better than these countries that we want to go to and go and study. It's a big lie if we say we are better than them. No, we are not. Because these countries are far advanced in a lot of the things that they do. And so the notion behind giving people scholarships to go and study is because you think that there's something out there that you need to bring back home. So you send people out there to fund them, go and study, and come back. It's an investment that the state makes into the lives of individuals for them to go out and study. And when you are making an investment, it means that you must be conscious, you must be calculative, you must be meticulous in the kind of investment that you are making, because it is supposed to achieve a certain end goal. So you ask us really that as a country, what is our focus? What is the Ghanaian dream? What is the vision? What is the plan? Because that should inform the kind of scholarships that we give out, the people that we give scholarships to, the kind of programs that they are going to study, and even the countries that we send them to go and study. You think that the white people that we see roaming in this country, the Chinese that we see roaming in this country, the American citizens that we see roaming in this country, you think they just come here just to come and roam for roaming sake? You think they are here because of the beautiful tropical weather? Or you think they are here because of the Ghanaian food or our drumming and dancing? No. Their people have brought them to come and learn something and take it back home. And they are paying for them to learn these things. Why do you think they bring them on exchange programs? So they can come and learn and take it back home. Let's ask ourselves, let's reevaluate, let's assess that ever since we started dishing out scholarships in this country, how many people have we given scholarships to? And what benefits have those scholarships come with to us in this country? It would amaze you to know that we have actually given out scholarships to people to go and never come back, because that always has been the notion that people take the scholarships and that becomes their breakthrough. Randy, I know people who had good jobs in this country under the Israel administration, who were given scholarships to go and study 1 year or 2 year master's programs, and when they were going, the apartments they had rented, they sold out everything that was in the apartments, sold their cars and left. Do you think such a person is planning to come back to this country? No. These are the people that we are doling out scholarships. Recently, someone reached out to me and says, Karim, I need help. I need a no objection letter from the Scholarship Authority and from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a friend. And I said, your friend is studying abroad, They don't want to come back, Abi. He says, oh, no, I said, I won't do it. I told him point blank, I said, I won't do it. I said, you know why? Because the scholarships are given to you to go and study and come back home. So why would you go and want to go and stay there? Come back. When the time is due and you want to go back, it's 2 years usually. So come back home, contribute some 2 years to your country, and go. Nobody holds you. I've been on exchange programs funded by the US government. And Randy, you sign an undertaking that when you go, you must come back and do compulsory 2 years.
But we do that.
Every time
there is an undertaking.
But the point is that how many people, because at the end of the day, when they go and they are done with the program, they write and request for no objection. And it is approved because of how they got the scholarships in the first place. Because one, you are giving scholarships to people who are politically exposed and who have political connections. Okay? Let's not also lose sight of the fact that we're in this very country when comments came out that people were selling scholarships. So somebody charges you 10% of the scholarship amount and issues a scholarship to you, because at the end of the day, it is the state and the Ghanaian taxpayer who would have to pay for it. That is why I don't understand why, if Randy Ahadzi is going to London or going to America or going to Germany to go and study, and the state gives Randy a scholarship, it is Randy who is the student who is going to study. Why should the state be responsible for paying for Randy's wife, Randy's children, to go abroad and go while Randy is studying, and the state is taking care of them when Randy is there, who is supposed to be the breadwinner of his family? Why should we, the taxpayers, be paying for these things? Okay. Not to lose sight of the fact that, to the extent that we're even told that a scholarship was even given to a minor. A scholarship was given to a minor who is not attending a university, or pre-university, pre-tertiary, and the state has to pay. You see, when you sit back and you look at all of these things and you hear all of these stories, it tells you the kind of mess that was created by the Ezwal administration. It tells you how insensitive they were to the plight of the Ghanaian people. It tells you how they were spending the Ghanaian money to have plunged this country into the chaos that this country was plunged into.
Okay.
Randy, at a time when we are talking about fiscal discipline, a poor country like Ghana, that we are so struggling to get the basic amenities for people, and look at how we're doling out cash. And the High Commission is saying that if you were given a scholarship by the state within this period and you're staying in the country and your whatever has not been paid and all of this, of course, you see, in all of these things too, I want to be empathetic towards the students, because it's a responsibility.
And I think the reason why we have Prince joining us,
it's the responsibility of the state to ensure that we do for you what we ought to do for you, because the state has already committed by law, if you look at it. But the High Commission is saying that come back and let's verify. Come back and take the very oath that you take. You said that you signed the bond. So if you sign the bond and the state says that, look, come, let's reaffirm that same bond that you signed. Even married people go and do renewal of vows. Don't you people do?
Yeah, we do.
So the state says that just come and let us reevaluate all of the things that you have been given and then reaffirm your bond.
How difficult is
so that now we know true which people we need to take care of, so that we can budget appropriately and take care of you. I don't see why and how that should become a problem.
Let me bring in Prince now on that score Kari mentioned. Dr. Prince Komala-Bansah is the president PhD cohort in the United Kingdom. Prince, good morning once again. Now you have arguments raised by the two guests in studio and also the High Commissioner. For you, what have you seen as the major issue or challenge thus we find ourselves in this whole brouhaha?
Okay, thank you very much. And if you can hear me, let me say this on record, that the objective of the student is not to be having banter with the High Commissioner, the manager scholarships, and other people who make comments on this. In any case, it is all of us, our taxpayer, that is funding this scholarship, including myself, because I have worked extensively in Ghana before I travel abroad. I've got scholarship, with the Lund University in Sweden to study. I've got scholarship to study in East Africa before I had Ghanaian scholarship to study, in UK. So now, having said that, I think that you asked the High Commissioner a specific question about, whether the scholarships are, maybe being dished out to political party members. Let me put this on record. Dr. Prince Komala-Bansah, I am a full-blooded NDC member. In fact, my work with the NDC might even surpass the High Commissioner herself, and perhaps any other person that is speaking on this matter. And being the president of the group, I can tell you that we have members from the NDC, we have members from the MPP, we have founding members of PNDC, NDC, Children, Chief Justice, Presidency. As I'm talking to you, we have slots that were given to Clement Apak, Eric Opoku, Sami Jemfi, Sam George, and a host of them who are here. They are our colleagues and we are party members, so we know them. We know those who are on the other side and we know those who are on this side. So the conversation around as far back as 2004, I was already a polling station agent for NDC. And The High Commissioner has the record of that because I forwarded all to her. She knows. And they've told her about me. So the issue about this particular scholarship is not about partisan matters. In any case, let me put on record, I haven't paid a time to anybody. In fact, even the former registrar of the scholarship, I never knew him until after they've exited power. I only got applied, was called, interviewed. They were asking me very technical questions about what my research seeks to do. And I explained to them that my research was important because it was focusing on the mining sector and then the implications for the artisanal mining in Ghana and all that before they even awarded me the scholarship. This started somewhere in 2018-19. So I only got the award sometime in 2020. So the scholarship itself is a process. So if you see somebody's award letter in 2025, probably the person has started the application sometime maybe in 2022. So it's not that you just apply and then you get it. You applied and then you are taken through certain processes. So having said that, let me also say this clearly, that there is no student, let me repeat, there is no student dependent that is financed by the scholarship. We, as I said, our objective is not to banter with anybody. But if information are framed in a way to spike students, it is our responsibility to respond to it. No families of students dependents are financed by the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, and I will explain to you. In any case, the first instance, the High Commissioner in that video you show, she showed some documents, and then she mentioned that the families were being sponsored together with the decent £8,000 in any monthly for each of them. There is no scholar, there's nobody on the scholarship scheme that receive even up to £2,000 as a living allowance, let alone 8,000. So from the premise, there is no 8,000 anywhere. Now, the amount that the High Commissioner saw on that particular document, what happens is that some students, when they've got a scholarship, and this happened globally with the Chevening scholarship and other scholarships. I've been on a host of foreign scholarships. When you are doing the application, you indicate that you are married or you have families and that you wish to travel with them. Sometimes the scholarships body is able to waive certain fees for the families because they know that the application for the visa and all that could be expensive. So it happens on self-Chevening and all that. Now, with the GSS, there is no automatic mechanism for that. So when you apply and you indicate that you have a family, you have to finance the visa fees, the flight ticket of the families you wish to go with. It's not every student that has a family to travel with. So the issue that all the students have been brought down here to the UK with their families and they are being financed by the government of Ghana is absolutely inaccurate.
Now, Prince, I'm not sure the High Commissioner mentioned that all students in the UK are there with their families. She referred to a few numbers, a handful of them, and she even went ahead. She was forced to even mention names. But again, Doc, my issue and then the clarity, right, should be between yourself and the High Commissioner, who will have access to the relevant documents that tells us that this number of people are beneficiaries of the scholarship scheme.
Let me tell you, I am the one, Dr. Prince Komala Bansa. The High Commissioner previously doesn't have anything. The previous High Commissioner doesn't have anything to do with what happens with issues of scholarship in the UK. The High Commissioner is only an intermediary between the students and that of the Scholarship Secretary. That's why we have a Registrar General in Ghana. We have a liaison officer at the High Commission who is specifically in charge of education. So it is even mind-boggling for most of the High Commissioner is the one who is speaking and the registrar himself is not talking. Now, let me just the issue about whether she has a document or she doesn't have the document. She holds a document and she said that 8,000 is being paid for families of the students. Subsequently, she wrote a number of things on social media. And that is what I'm disputing, that even if there is one that she has found on that paper, that it is stated that their families and if beneficiaries are being paid, it is completely false. And I'll explain to you. Now, that money that is stated on that letter that she has seen, she should have asked, why is that money stated? And you see, we shouldn't be having this public conversation because it has a consequential effect for party members, particularly NDC members of my who want to travel abroad to study in the future, because she's now exposing the dynamics of how the scholarship works. Now, that 8,000, the money is stated on the letter as a support document for the dependent. That does not mean that there is any financial commitment on the part of the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to pay a dime. In fact, when you go to apply for UK visa, and some of your colleagues in the studio may know this, they ask you to show evidence of certain amount of money that you have. Most often than not, people don't have that amount of money. So they can approach anybody, including you, and say, oh, can you give me bank statements so that I can use it to support my application?
But Dr. Bansa, that is deceit, right? That is deceit. So you're using the state as a medium to deceive whoever is at the other side. Is that not what you're trying to say?
No. It applies to the Get Fund. It applies to every other scholarships. What happens is that
I get that point right, but I'm saying that even if it is true, but what you're saying, then that is deceit. So you're using the state, or they are using the state to lie to people. I mean, the other side just to break through.
That's why I told you that. That's why I told you that there's a technicality in this, and we shouldn't be having this publicly conversation. But because of what she says specifically, she hasn't understand the document she's holding. That is the truth. The truth is that, and in any case, every dime in terms of allowance, stipend that is paid to any student, the invoices are at the liaison officer's office at the High Commission. Ask yourself, why is it that the High Commissioner is not showing the invoice of the payment of the said families that shows that indeed they have been paid 8,000 for each of the family? Because the invoice does not exist. So
hold on to me. I think you still have a lot to say, but hold on, I'll come back to you on that. Going forward, what must be done? Yes. Because this is actually not the first time we are hearing this report and all of that. But Dr. Bansa, hold on, I'll come to you. Hold on, I'll come to you. Richard Suma is here. He is the Deputy General Secretary of the UP.
Yeah.
Is in all black with black or dark shades.
I have some funeral to attend from here too.
The dark shade is a trademark of our sound engineer here. Me, and then the hat, the eye you are putting. Anyway, Rich, how are you doing?
Oh, great.
You have also listened to all the arguments raised.
Yeah.
Dr. Bansa on the other side is explaining to us what he has also seen, or what he knows best as far as this whole scholarship scheme is concerned. What do you have to say? What's your reaction? What's your take? Do we even have to finance people to go and study abroad when we have our own universities here in Ghana?
Well, first of all, let me use your noble platform to extend good morning to all Ghanaians, to my colleagues that I'm sharing your platform with them this morning, and to all the leadership of the United Party, and to everyone in Whole Central. Now, as a matter of fact, we as a country, we need to ask ourselves questions. So if you look at how Ghana's constitution was developed, and if you look at an aspect of it that talks about the directive principles of state policies, it is all engendered towards how we can be able to develop a good foresight, a good plan, a good vision that will be able to build this country. So if the reasons for which the Scholarship Secretariat was established was as a result of the fact that we want to create that ambient environment where less privileged people who are brilliant, but they are coming from very more vulnerable societies or families, they don't have the opportunity to finance themselves, not even within the Ghanaian system, not to even talk about going abroad to go and acquire studies in a more sophisticated environment or in a more advanced and developed society where you can be abreast with many more issues that ideally you wouldn't have known here. So as a matter of fact, that was the vision behind it. But that now that this vision has been sidelined or has been stepped aside, and we have moved the scholarship thing into the political realms, what is the essence of the Scholarship Secretariat as we speak today? So the likes of me, I would have wished that entire Scholarship Secretariat should be scrapped. Realigned.
Realigned.
Like it should be scrapped. It should be scrapped. It should be disbanded. It should be disbanded. We should realign it entirely. If NDC is talking about even the research, one of the research should focus hardly on disbanding the National Secretariat for Scholarship or whatever it is called. It is an avenue for systemic siphoning of state resources. Those who are not supposed to benefit from this scholarship scheme, they are the beneficiaries of the scheme. Do you know something? As at now, have we been able to provide any data that suggests that since the days we've been taking people to abroad to go and study all this manner of nonsense and coming back to Ghana, what has it really added to our GDP? What has it really added to our economic transformation?
Oh, we have channel doctors.
Doctors that are doctors in a folder doctors that have achieved doctorate certificate for their own self-aggrandizement, not for the ultimate benefit of what? The country. Many of them even go there in the name of Ghana scholarship. They go after studying, they enjoy the environment, they are even fighting hard not to come back to Ghana. So why pay money for them to go and study in the first place? You see, if you create this low-hanging fruit where political apparatchiks can take opportunity of it and siphon the resources of the state, it is not good. Now, you
agree with me that even in your hometown, there is this needy, brilliant but needy student.
That's what I'm saying. The scope of the objective behind the scholarship secretariat has been diffused.
Okay.
The main objective behind it has been diffused. That's why we are calling for an entire, what do I call it, dissolvement of the National Secretariat for Scholarship. It should be dissolved entirely. We are talking about a legacy debt, even for UK alone, talking about 35 million pounds sterling. I heard one of the panelists saying that some of the investors in Ghana here who are doing extremely well, who are even venturing into cybersecurity, IT, artificial intelligence, and all these things, they just need some capital injection to upgrade their faculties, to be able to take in more students, bring in more sophisticated equipment, develop the manpower base of the citizens, because the ultimate agenda for scholarship is to develop the manpower base of the country. That is why I asked you a question, a classical question, that all the doctors, all the PhD holders, all these so-called people who are now fighting government, that government took them there, government is not paying them, so for they are fighting the government. Why? What have they brought back to contribute to the development of this country? The gentleman who is a spokesman for them, what has his data showed him that the scholarship they have been receiving over the years has brought us to where we are now based on their contribution? Let me tell you, after the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing, do you know what happened? The Japanese deliberately took most of their young people to England, to Europe, to go and study technology. Are you getting my point? And the idea is that after studying that technology, you come back to rebuild your home. Today, when we are talking about technology, Japan is one of the top-notch countries in the world. Are you getting my point? So, scholarship and education has to be tailored. It has to be measured. It has to be realistic. It has to be with a vision and a focus behind it. There should be some niche idea behind the reason why we dish out scholarship. Not like to support what my brother is saying, dishing it out like some jollof rice that we are serving in some party. Are you getting my point? So it's an avenue for corruption, and because we don't have mechanisms in place to checkmate some of these things, okay, that is why people are acting beyond the powers given to them. Why would you finance somebody to go and study, and then in the classical case, the family also have to go? Now, the gentleman is saying that the document, even before Honorable Zita, she doesn't even understand it. It is everybody's side of the story that they are telling. The gentleman who says the spokesman of the people, he's telling his side of the story to entice us to believe that they are stranded in anywhere, or Ghanaians are stranded anywhere. After your education, if government has not been able to pay all the money they have to pay, why not you as an individual who you will be enjoying the fruit of your study also make any conscious effort to pay? Why? Why? It is not a thing that we need to countenance. It is not something we need to entertain. It is not something we need to discuss it, because as a matter of fact, it's not the best way of giving people scholarship, people who are going there to study unnecessary things in the first place. Have we made any deliberate policy that we say that, look, no, Ghana, we want to develop the petrochemical industry, and therefore we lack the knowledge in the manpower required for petrochemical industry. So we are deliberately sending students after university to UK, to Norway, to this and that, because we have found oil in Ghana. Therefore, we are training manpower base to feed into our oil and gas industry. Have you heard it before? Have you? Andy, have you?
No,
and if you are talking about aeronautics engineering, robotics engineering, or whatever the engineering vision that you have as a country that you want to become globally competitive. Ghana, we are not trying to be competitive in anything. We do the dilly-dally, and then at the end of the day, Burkina say they will not even give you tomatoes. You are crying.
Okay, Richard, thank you. And I'll bring in Bright as well pretty shortly. But here is what the administrator of the Scholarship Secretariat issued as a social media reactions. And this was on the 12th of March, if what I'm saying is right. And he says that the narrative that scholarships are reserved solely for needy but brilliant students is incorrect. The Ghana Scholarship Authority operates a 3-tier framework for the award of scholarships. Financial need, that's basically about the needy but brilliant. 2, national priority for programs critical to Ghana's development where specialized expertise is required. And 3, merit-based selection, a competitive pathway for qualified Ghanaian students who meet standardized academic criteria regardless of economic background.
So that brings me back, that brings me back to the question I'm asking. We need data. As a country, data must guide you to say that the things that we've been doing over the past year, this is what it has contributed. Therefore, we should be able to expand it, or we should be able to do what? Revises or review, because we are not driven by data. That is why I'm asking. Now, the other aspect that you read out for skills that are related to what? Maybe area of engineering or technology. So far, yes,
specialized expertise.
So far, can data prove to how many people they have trained that have acquired this specialized expertise
and they are back serving?
That they are back serving in which specific sectors of the Ghanaian economy? That is the question we should be asking.
Okay, Richmond. Dr. Prince still has a lot of clarifications to make anyway.
I think it's disappointing and it's very disheartening listening to the doctor.
Why?
I would agree with my elder brother, the Honorable Richard Suma. You see, the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, it's having a systemic deficiency. It's not just about the former registrar, but I think even the beneficiaries of those scholarships have come together with those in administration to form a cartel. Because why tell me on this show this morning that the High Commissioner is not qualified enough to talk on the issue? That the documents before the High Commissioner, who is a lawyer, somebody who is representing the president in the whole country, is not qualified to talk on the issue because she does not understand the documents before her. The High Commissioner is saying that she assuming responsibility, her job is to intermediate between the government of Ghana and the counterparts in those countries. She is realizing that there is a debt of about 35 million euros to be paid. Pounds. She is responsible to look for the money to pay those debts. You are in the country, you don't have money for your stipends and all. Who is a point of call that you call on to pay those debts? She is the one. You are saying that there is a correspondence in her office. Who does the correspondence work with or work for? They work with her. She is very right to bring these issues to light. Let me tell you, I have taken my time to analyze some of the systemic weaknesses in the Scholarship Secretariat. When you look at their transparency eligibility criteria, it is very poor. We don't know
how did you come across that conclusion? But what I'm saying is the conclusion that it is very poor.
I've gone through the data.
Okay.
As of today, recently, Manasseh Azuri and his fourth estates were releasing some documents on who is getting scholarships. When they called on them to respond, they failed to respond. You are trying to get the administrator to make a comment. You're not getting him. That shows that there's no transparency. There needs to be available data for who gets what, how much they are getting, what dependents are following them. How do we spend so much money that it gets to a point that we are unable to afford for it, yet we are still going
without doing cost benefit analysis of
because we don't care.
The opportunity costs associated with these expenses makes no reason. Those who are taking the scholarship with their dependents to go abroad to study, are they saying that the environments that we have in Ghana, the academic environment, is not conducive enough for them? What courses are they reading that we don't have in Ghana for them to read?
Rich, you are getting...
Are you done? I want you to land before Karen comes in. Because we still have 2 more people online to speak to.
I want to say that there needs to be proper documentation when we have the transparency. Ghanaians need to know who is benefiting from these policy schemes. Why would you go and invite? I was watching a show this morning that a politician was saying that he was actually invited to come for a scholarship.
Yes.
Do we have so much money that we are throwing around like that? Meanwhile, there's a debt of about £30 million that we are unable to settle. The High Commissioner this morning is saying that the former administrator says that he has done no wrongdoing. A denial is not acquittal. If you deny a crime, does not mean that you have been acquitted and discharged. This needs to be investigated. Whoever is responsible for causing financial loss to the state must be investigated. There needs to be regular and internal auditing. Once these scholarships are being issued, see, Ghana is spending over $1 billion on these scholarship expenditures. $1 billion of the Ghana cedi. Do you know how much infrastructure that billion can give to our investors? President Mahama yesterday in his talk said about 30 e-blocks. He wants to continue them. These e-blocks prior to 2016, 2017 were abandoned. So from 2017 to 2020, nobody has spent any money to put in these infrastructures. There's free senior high school. How do we develop the young people to take up responsibilities in the country? We are saying that the scholarships, some are merit-based, some are national priorities. See, if you are not qualified for a scholarship, don't give it.
Okay. Karim, let me take your bite quickly in 2 minutes. Bright Ofori is the executive director and founder the Bright Future Alliance. He's an anti-graft campaigner. He will come in a jiffy. But Karim, let me pick your bite quickly.
I mean, Randy, my point has been pretty much made clear that, you see, we have to put a stop to how we dole out scholarships like we are giving out sweets to children, like we are sharing Christmas jollof, or like we are doing sadaqah, as we will put it in the Islamic context. Like I mentioned in my initial remarks, and I'm glad that my big brother talked about the Hiroshima Nagasaki bombing in Japan and how a country like that brought to the ground flat was able to rebuild itself. You see, any nation in the world deals with data and research, because that is what informs the decisions that you make. That is what informs what you spend, how you spend, and you know how generally you go about everything that you do. And I asked again in my initial remarks that let's ask ourselves as a country that all of the people that we have given scholarships to over the years, what has been their contribution to this country called Ghana? What has been the benefit of the Ghanaian taxpayer to the people that we give scholarships to? Because majority of them go and they never come back. They go and stay there. So perhaps we'll say that the only benefit we'll get from them will probably be remittances. That they will be sending back home to their parents, who they would leave behind and take their spouses and their children with them. So that could probably only be the only benefit that we get from these people. So as a state, what I think we must do as a country, and I hope that this government will take it up, is that let's restructure this space. Let's have priority areas as a country that we want to focus our energies and our investment in. So if it's in agriculture, and we are issuing out scholarships for agriculture, what really is the focus? Are we sending people out to go and learn irrigation, to go and learn how they can use technology in agriculture and all of that, and then we bring them back and come and put them in our universities, in our colleges, and in our various agencies to work and serve the nation? So that when you know that you have a scholarship to go out and study, you are coming back with an automatic job waiting for you to come and do that compulsory 2 years or compulsory 5 years that you have to do to pay back that scholarship that was given to you. If it's engineering, what aspect of engineering are we looking at? If it's mining, what aspect of mining are we looking at? So we start doling out scholarships to people to go and master these fields, come back home compulsory by force, and come and contribute their quota. So that in that case, as a nation, issues of giving out no objection letters and all of that to people when they take scholarships and go and study and they never come back. I mean, tell me why on earth somebody takes a 1 year or 2 year master's program, get a scholarship from this country, and they are going out to go and study political science. Why? You can't study a master's in political science at Gimpa? You can't study a master's in political science at University of Ghana? You can't study a master's in political science at Kwame Nkrumah Institute of Science and Technology?
Who does that in a civilized world?
People want to do MBA. Then they take scholarship, government money, and go and study MBA. People, you were here when they brought out a list of people who even took scholarship to go and do certificate programs at Harvard, paid for by the state. What benefits really have we gotten from all of these scholarships that we doled out? So we need to restructure, identify, if we want to give out scholarships, let's identify what are the priority needs of this country. Okay. And then we give out scholarships based on those needs.
Okay.
Left to me, if we want to issue scholarships, we should be giving more local scholarships. Tell people that if you want scholarship to study, no problem. The Gimpers are there, the Legons are there, the KUSCs are there, the UCCs are there, the UEWs are there. Let's build infrastructure in these institutions. Let's upgrade lecturers. They have research allowance and what have you. Let's give them these things that they need. Upgrade them to at least be able to meet the standards of some of these institutions that some of our brothers and sisters want to go out there to study and be like, so that they too can give the same experience. Let's not lose sight of the fact that beyond the knowledge that they go out to seek, there is also the bit of, you call it global standards or, global exposure, as you put it. So there are certain things that you might not be exposed to if you choose to study in Ghana. So it's better for you to go out there and study. Can we have quotas? Okay. Even if you want to give people scholarships to go and do political science or international relations or MBA, can we have a certain quota and say that every year we only give this quota for these humanity programs, this quota for science and related programs, this quota for agric and what have you. And my last point would have to do with the doctor. I find it very laughable, and it's very normal. Anybody who benefits from some of these things would have no option but to defend. But I find it very laughable. I don't know him personally, and so I don't want it to look as though it's a political attack. But he should speak to the issues that we are speaking to. Nobody is here to discuss NDC MPP. Today we are talking Ghana. And so even if he's more NDC than the founder of the party, that is not what we are discussing. Like Richmond said, the High Commissioner is the representative of the President in the United Kingdom. Nobody would have access to more information, no matter how classified it is, than the High Commissioner. Okay. So if the High Commissioner has come out to put out statements, I think that it is only in the interest of everybody to see how best we can look at the issues properly and solve them. Okay. He implicated himself in some statements that he made. And what he only leaves me with is to say that he benefited from a fraudulent system. Because if you are telling me that some information is put on letters so that people are able to go through and deceive institutions or deceive other countries so they can grant admission and grant visas to people to go and study, then what it means is that a lot of people who have benefited from such a system have benefited from a fraudulent system. Okay. And if not for anything, they should have questions to answer.
I'm sure he would want to clarify that. I'll get to him. Karim, thank you. I'll come back so that you all have a minute or two to wrap up. But let me bring in Bright quickly. Bright, in all of this, yes, indeed, monies have gone into probably wrong hands. The state has spent on some people who, one way or the other, do not deserve this. For you, what can we do to ensure that we don't come back next year around same time to complain about these same issues? Mind you, we understand that about 5,000 applicants are still waiting to get their scholarships. Right.
Yeah, thank you, and then I appreciate the submissions by my colleagues in the studio. It's interesting for such a discussion to be brought up by the High Commissioner. In as much as it might not be accurate, or whatever it is, we are not even in a position to tell if it's accurate or not. But Commissioner, to bring such a thing up, we shouldn't condemn it outrightly. Let's look at it. Even if there is an error that she's made in her submission, let's not condemn, let's not baby out with the water. Let's look at it case after case. And also not create an impression that scholarships are not better. They are appropriate. In every country, or in the progress of every country, some of these things are necessary. Beyond the knowledge acquisition, the exposure is something that also helps along the line. But I think as a country, we have to re-strategize and prioritize things. In the past, scholarships were given based on one or two reasons. The country felt there's a need, there's a vacuum, there's a shortfall in a particular sector that we need to uplift ourselves so that in the next 5-10 years, these people could come back and serve the country. But currently, it doesn't seem that's the case. Scholarship has now become an escape route to relocate to Europe or to other Western countries. And then scholarships now has become a revenue generation scheme by people in government and some people that even work at the scholarship secretariat. We've had instances where people had to pay $100,000, 100,000 Ghana cedis for their name to be captured. These are allegations over the years. So as a country, we need to sit down and really look at all these things. How many people do we intend to send them to this particular country? What are we even looking out for? After, because as part of their condition is once you are done, you're supposed to come back to come and serve your country. How many people have come back? Let's look at all these data. Even those that we gave scholarships to, what has been their improvement? What has been their contribution to their personal lives and even the country, or even making Ghana proud, in their private space? Let's look at all this information. Else we'll keep churning out money, pumping money, sending people to Europe, schooling, and at the end of the day, we've not even gotten any benefit from it. So before we even proceed further, I think as a country, let's do a cost analysis benefit. Let's go back in the last 5 years, 10 years. What has been the progress? Let's get some of this information, because if you do not do the analysis to know the benefit that you are incurring as a country, people would just even wake up one day and say scholarships are not even important, because you've not been able to give them reasons why you even have to continue paying scholarship. So as a country, let's look at it carefully. Let's analyze it. Let's re-strategize. There are some courses that could be done in Ghana. Yes, we can do that. There are some courses that could be. You can even do quota system, as Karim was saying. Even if it is political science, if it's business administration, let's send some few people there, and then let them get the knowledge and come back to help our country. But let's not throw the case away. Whether some of the information provided by Honorable was accurate or not, let's look at it from. And then I would also even have appreciated it more to hear from the scholarship secretariat themselves, the director, to hear from them, because obviously, Madam, in as much as she is a high commissioner, very knowledgeable, might have some information. Interpreting an information is different from the information itself that you get. So getting the scholarship secretariat to even react to it or respond to it would be more appropriate than just the communique that they've issued out. Although it's a good thing, but getting them could also ask them more questions. But as a country, I'm saying that let's re-strategize. Let's make the scholarship secretariat a transparent office, so that it wouldn't be an avenue for corruption. Just as now people, if you go out there and talk to about 5 or 10 Ghanaians, about five of them, or more than 50 or 60% of them, feels it's not transparent enough. They feel it's one of the ways where corruption flourishes. So let's really look at it as a country. Let's strategize. It's just like the nursing allowances that I've always spoke against. At the start of the country, there were some concerns, there was some interest. That's why certain scholarships were given. At the start of it, allowances were given because there was a particular issue, there was a problem. Now that we've gone past those stage, why do we continue issue certain scholarships to some people? So I don't want us to just talk about, let's look at it also from the policy perspective. The scholarships that were given to family members, whether it's true or not, or other family members to go there and stay with you, what can we do about it? If it is indeed something that the scholarship secretary is allowed to do, then whoever gave that, sent the family or the dependent of the beneficiary of the scholarship, hasn't faulted in any way. No matter how we condemn it, no matter how morally it's not upright.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it. But stay with me. I may come back for your concluding remarks. But let me get back to Dr. Bansa as well. Doc, let's move forward. I mean, the issues are staring at us bare in the face. Now, moving forward, how do we ensure that, look, we don't run or we don't incur debt, as the High Commissioner is saying? How do we ensure also that scholarships are given to persons that really deserve these scholarships? Dr. Bansa.
Let me, look, I'm enjoying the conversation in one way or the other, and I support fully the reform, the various proposals for the reforms that, we are all talking about. The issue about how the scholarships are procured, I think I've taken you through from the beginning of my submission, how I in particular got a scholarship. Now, the issues that I've raised, I'm not saying that the High Commissioner does not have, preview to documents. As a beneficiary of that scholarship and the president of the student group, and what I know over the years and the practice, that is what I'm putting out, that we do not have the scholarship secretariat financing any family that comes with any student. That does not exist. And I did mention that when we are paid stipend, invoices are there. So if these invoices are indeed there, that a family is paid £8,000, it is very easy for them to put it out there. It doesn't exist. Now, moving forward, I see that some of your panelists have talked about, and let me even mention this. The High Commissioner in her submission did say that they do not owe PhD students tuition fees. They owe them stipend. Please, this is extremely inaccurate. And you see, I speak to this thing because it is me, personally, when the new administration came, I was the one they contacted to provide them with the statistics, and I have it, of the number of students that are indeed being sponsored, the PhD cohort. And I use Express sheet together with my colleagues to prepare this document for them. So who else is more qualified to talk about whether students are old or they are not old? That's the question. I provided the information to them. And as we speak now, 36 of our members have their tuition fees unpaid. In fact, in my University of Lincoln, one of my colleagues has recently been withdrawn because he has not received his tuition fee for the period of 3 years. Nobody is saying that these issues are transitional. They are inherited debt. But the reality of the issue is that government is always a continuum, right? And in fact, I had a scholarship under the GET Fund, right? And I had a scholarship under the Chevenet. During that time, NDC lost power. Everybody knows me. Even Apo used to joke with me that you are an NDC person, so but we'll pay you the money, so don't worry. So everybody is a Ghanaian. So for me, I'm thinking that government is in a continuum, and so for that matter, we must continue to service these issues. I'm not going to talk about the consistencies of the debt, because what I know, if I say it, maybe your colleagues will say that, oh, I'm trying to dispute certain things, so I'll leave that one. But going forward, I support the reform. But let's not also forget that foreign education is still very important, and all these students that have been sponsored have one school in Ghana, including myself. Now, as we speak right now, 3,211 scholarships has been awarded for the 2025-2026. 3,000, less than a year. So if the essence of foreign scholarship is not necessary, why are we having new scholarships being awarded? And even to some of the courses that your panelists have raised concerning, go and look at the scholarship data online and the category of the courses that the scholarship have been awarded for, including even 2 residents in Canada who had expired passports. So if you want to ask the questions that these students, would they be coming back to Ghana, it is important to have a holistic and not to try to frame it as though it is those of us who are in the UK that find ourselves in that particular conundrum. Now, let me put this on record. Me, when I finished my PhD, I have secured 2 projects that is currently in the process of starting in the mining communities. That is giving back to the country. One from the Ohio State University, financed by an independent organization, and the other one currently in the process with the British Academy. And all these projects are targeting mining communities where artisanal mining and illegal mining is happening. I'm also engaged in a lot of, and most of our colleagues, look, we have people who have served in the military 14 years and they are on the scholarship. They are going back to Ghana. Look, there's no student in the UK, I can tell you for a fact, that do not want to go back to Ghana. In fact, if you know the UK very well, the UK of 2000 is not UK of today. Students are now being burdened by debt because they have borrowed so much. Some of them have been taken to court. Some of them cannot even afford food because they have to live on food banks because of the non-payment of the stipend, their living allowances that are stated. And so these are real issues. If the student leave and go to Ghana, is he going to ride bicycle? He doesn't even have the ticket to even take a flight, because unlike the GET Fund, before you leave Ghana, they pay for your flight ticket. They give you £2,000. With the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, they don't give you anything. Flight ticket, they don't give you, unless you request before they can consider your circumstances and even provide you some sort of assistance. So it is not like an automatic system where you say that the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, they take you to the UK. No, they don't give you flight ticket. You apply your own flight ticket, you apply for your own visa and everything, unless your circumstances is dire, and then they give you a support. So the issue about the benefit of the scholarship to Ghana is very important. I have been in Ghana for like 2 months. I've messaged the registrar, and I'm very one of your panelists did talk about the registrar, and I'm happy that all of you are seeing this. I messaged him. I said, "Look, my brother, I'm in Ghana. Let's meet and have a discussion." I have about 5 of my colleagues who have finished the PhD. They are in Ghana currently. They send me a message and say, "Oh, what is the exit plan? We want to sign off so that we know what is in for us." I told them that we don't have any exit plan because nobody has communicated anything to the student about exit plan. So talking about people going to Ghana, and then the mechanism that is even there to reintegrate them is really very important. And the issue about validation and the oath-taking that the High Commissioner raised, it's not a problem. I've shared some documents with you. I don't know whether it's you or your district, to prove to you that the letter of no objection, as some of your colleagues talked about, it doesn't give you a status to live in the UK. These are just a temporary visa to give you a 2 years hands-on experience. After that, you have nothing to do with the UK. And the document I share with him, evidence shows that even the current registrar has issued a lot of letter of no objection. So if he doesn't see the essence of those letter of no objection, why is he issuing it? So the most important point is that
thank you. Thank you. Rather unfortunately, we don't really have much time to go further. But this is a developing issue. Hopefully, we'll keep our eyes on it. Hopefully, next week we shall come back. But Dr. Prince Bansa is based in the UK, and he is in charge of the PhD cohort. Before my guests in studio conclude, let me read some messages that our viewers have sent via our feed or streams. Mavis Brew says, "We already have local scholarship, my brother. What is happening to the local scholarships under the previous government?" Okay, so what happened to the local scholarships under the previous government? Mavis asked. The question is, what do we gain from our politicians? Okay, Mavis, thanks for your message. Kofi Entry says, maybe you should interrogate the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Ramsay, if he has gotten government scholarship to pursue his PhD abroad, getting paid 4 years stipends and tuition. Okay, Kofi Entry sent in that one. It's a lie. The Japanese government never sent students abroad. It's an initiative of the US government as compensation for what they have suffered. Okay.
But what result did it yield?
Japan benefits.
Mavis comes back to say that talking about Japan and China, they seem to understand the investment they are making, so they keep committed to it. Their fee and stipends are paid and on time, so they don't have to engage in any job that has no relation to their course of study. They are busy researching, learning the culture and values, bringing the positive change in the country of study and adopting it for their country. On the other hand, Africans, especially Ghanaians, are doing all sorts of jobs to survive. Okay, we can't provide data because the problem is not the students, the problem is the system. We are talking about the nation's resources. We need to rethink about this scholarship system. It's not about taking students abroad and leaving them to struggle. What is the essence of still taking students when those there are struggling to survive in a foreign country? Okay, Sadat says that, seriously, this guy doesn't deserve to... okay, I'll leave it like that. No need. Nanwa Ismail says that, what about the NPP name? Okay, Millicent Quantin says, thanks for the clarification, Prince. Andrew Johnson says, what is the basis for the reaffirmation of the bond? Enoch says, I love Mr. Richmond Akpa, so eloquent, God bless you. Okay. Zala Bright says, big 2026 and we are more slaves than we were in 1900. Bismarck G. Lecher says, thank you very much, my boy. Okay. Jason Agana says, good morning to Mr. Richmond Akpa, keep up the good work. This is beyond politics, it's about student welfare and mental health. For how long? You've been in office for over a year and you keep saying the same thing and blame game. Okay. Kojo Freedom says, good morning. All right, so quite a number of messages sent this morning by our viewers, but unfortunately our time is almost up. We are actually out of time. But Rich, maybe your concluding remarks, way forward recommendations. The High Commissioner mentioned that there is an act. Hopefully the reforms are captured in that act that we knew to the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Well, I still maintain my position, as the tester said, that it isn't true that Japan sent people, but the caveat there is whether it is America that funded them or it is Japan that funded themselves, they had a meticulous, deliberate, niche-tailored program to train their manpower to achieve a certain result. Has the result been achieved? Yes. Yes, of course. But in our case, has any result been achieved ever since we started financing people to go abroad and study in the name of government scholarship? Have we? No. And I still come back to data. As the gentleman is speaking, nobody has been able to speak to data. It is not about whether you brought some NGO or you brought some project to Ghana. That is not what we are talking about. We are saying that as a country, there should be a deliberate, conscious effort to at least be in charge of a certain specific subsector of our economy. We are all educated fellows on this panel. Let my senior colleagues or my brothers tell me which specific aspect of the Ghanaian sector, economic sector, are we self-sufficient, self-dependent, even in the area of skills and manpower development? Yeah. Zero. Zero. Are you with me? Yeah. All the Ghanaians that we create the impression that they've done so well, they are doing so out of their jurisdiction, not in Ghana. Are you with me? How many people have you said that we took them to abroad to come and train and come and take over Tor? And they brought their skills, they brought their expertise, for which we were able to radically transform Tor. We now refine most of the oil we consume here. Zero. So they say if you are doing something and it's not yielding the exact result you are expecting, you should be able to do either you cancel it, you review it, or you do something about it. So my concluding message to us is that we should put a halt on financing many more to go abroad. Let us do a holistic auditing like what Richmond is saying. We need to do auditing. We need to do proper auditing. But you see, Ghana in the system, who is auditing who? Yeah. Who is auditing who? People from controller and accountant, I say controller, auditor general department, they are being compromised. Internal auditors, they are being compromised. Have you not been hearing the Public Accounts Committee hearing? Can't you see that almost every auditor in this country is being compromised? Are you with me? Yeah. So unless there is some radical transformation of this thing, we will still come back and talk about it. And in every jurisdiction, we call something priority list, scale of preference. As a country, what is our top-notch priority list? What do we want to do? Now we say that in Ghana, today we've been able to gravitate towards getting to Z. Let me tell you, Ghana is the only country that are always here. That, oh, you see 20 years down there or 30 years ago, Charlie, then we're doing so well in this, sports. Now, Ghana, Charlie, we're doing so well in the 80s. They say, oh, we're doing so well in the 70s. But have we been able to measure how progressive we have been over the 30-something years of we practicing democracy since 1992? So, Ghana, we are retrogressing instead of what? Progressing. If you bring free education, it is good. But free education also has to be niche. It has to be tailored. It has to be targeted. But when you give a free-for-all education, a free-for-all education, a mass production-based education, in the name of saying you are trying to educate your citizens, you are trying your best, but you are not achieving the ultimate result. Well. So let us be given data. Data is the only thing that can help us to determine whether we have made some significant profit out of the investment we are making in these children or not. But for the Ghana ones, we know that if Get Fund funds them, they are here, they have not gotten their visa yet. So we should rather encourage Get Fund to fund many more of our students that are studying here in Ghana. $35 million, pounds sterling. Do you know how many Ghanaians that could have financed here to do all manner of very intelligent and sophisticated programs? But here we are. Go to all our schools. The majority of the schools are doing political science. Go to Tech, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. How do you tell me you go to Massachusetts Institute of Technology and go and do political science there?
Okay. Richard, thank you. Richmond, in 30 seconds.
Well, I think that we need to build a Ghana scholarship secretariat that is trustworthy, merit-based, and then the Ghanaian taxpayer deserves to know that the Ghana scholarship secretariat that their taxpayers' money is funding is available to all brilliant but needy Ghanaians.
Okay. Karim. And Karim, I want you to wrap up with the concerns that issues happen. You try to reach leaders or heads of the agencies for their reaction, because this is a serious issue.
Yeah.
And they neither pick calls nor return the calls. They won't even reply to messages. And these are public office holders. And the onus lies on them to do what they are supposed to do.
Yeah. I think that generally there's a leadership challenge or a certain gap within the leadership architecture in our country that we need to address. You know, not just the individuals alone, even institutions have that challenge. And I've always said that, look, people must learn to delegate. If you're head of an institution and an issue of this nature comes up, and you know that obviously a lot of media people will be reaching out to you, people want to talk to you and get your take on the issues. Ordinarily, we shouldn't come and sit here and be assuming. You get it. So I would have expected that, even if not for anything, maybe release an official statement from your agency or from your institution saying that, hey, this is what we have had happening, and this is what our position is on the matter. Perhaps in due course, we would grant interviews or hold a press conference to clarify issues properly. And I think that when media people see that, it will bring some sort of relief and some sort of finality to people trying to reach out to and all of that. But of course, I don't want to throw blame. I also want to assume that the magnitude of work that some of these people have to do is a lot.
You go to those agencies.
I'm saying that I want to assume.
He wants to be very soft.
That's what I'm saying. I want to assume.
Even if I want to bind what you're saying, Richard and Richmond and Karim. These agencies have a whole unit dedicated
for PR. That's what I'm saying, that I want
and people are being paid.
That's what I'm saying, that I want to assume. You see, I was very specific. I want to assume. I'm not saying that is the case. It's just an assumption. Because you see, even a lot of the PR officers still need clearance. From their superiors. You get it. So sometimes, as a PR person, it leaves you questioning whether
you are really in
charge or not. But you get it. But that is that.
Okay.
But I think that, like everybody else has said, when we have conversations of this nature, we have it in the interest of Ghana, not because anybody holds anything against anybody. But we are looking out for what's best for the Ghanaian people, the taxpayers, the taxes that you pay, the taxes that I pay, the tolls that the market women pay. We want to see that these monies are utilized properly, and that's why we have these conversations. And so we're hoping that a time would come when we would have a scholarship secretariat that, like I said, is giving scholarships based on what the needs of the country are. It's giving scholarships based on merits. It's giving scholarships to people who actually deserve to be given those scholarships, and it is done in a very transparent and open manner.
All right.
Right? For me, that is what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe it comes back to say our HC is doing the job for the registrar, I suppose. Who is the HC? Okay. Okay. All right. She says no progression because of some people and talks like this. Okay, maybe thank you so much for sending your message. We appreciate all the messages, and thanks so much to all of you for watching. Here we draw curtains on today's edition of the Dialogue. A big thanks to Her Excellency Zita Saba Benson, the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. She was on earlier to reiterate all that she said in that video that we shared earlier. Bright Ofori, Executive Director and Founder of the Bright Future Alliance, also joined us via Zoom. Dr. Prince Komla Bansa, he is the President PhD cohort in the United Kingdom. And of course, he said quite a number of things as well. As I mentioned, it's a developing issue. We will see more of the counterattacks, the defense come up in the coming days. Of course, hopefully next week, if we regroup on this issue, we'll bring Dr. Prince Bansa back again. A big thanks to the studio guests. Far end, Richard Suma is the Deputy General Secretary of the United Party. Richmond Akpa is a financial expert and also a social commentator. We also have my own colleague, Karim Adams. He had a very interest in this particular topic. Charlie, thank you. But why are you white anyway? You are representing Goforiata Tana.
It's a Friday.
Anytime I see people drag, it reminds me of him. The only difference, he didn't quote any.
It's a Friday.
Anyway, so from here, at 11, of course, yours truly, WoezorTV, will bring you the live update far away in Upper East region, where the president is doing the Resetting Ghana tour. We'll bring you all the updates on that particular one. So brace yourself up and keep your dials locked here. A big thanks to the crew for helping put this one together. And for those of you who have social events this weekend, please, let me just spare this 1 minute and advise all road users, especially our drivers. Every morning we do talk about it, but how important, how serious do we pay attention to all of this? We saw what happened yesterday. Very gory accident. Could we have avoided
Yes, I don't know a minute. You know that Boboya situation, we need to take a holistic look at it.
Richard, I agree
yes,
with
because
you.
that Boboya, especially the ones that are carrying the refuse,
Yes.
you see, they carry the refuse to the extent that they don't even have mirrors that are working. They can't see, they are blind. So they are in an outer lane. Before you realize they are coming to the inner lane, or they are in the inner lane without checking. They just come anyhow. So I think the MTTDU or whatever agency is responsible for checkmating some of these things to ensure that either it is mandatory that you have a side mirrors, or you will disband them entirely. If not, look at what happened yesterday. People just lost their life horribly just like that.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they can disband them, but we should ensure that regulations play a part. And in my own city as well, similar things are happening. We don't have the Abubuya with the bola and all of that, but it is a tricycle, Zekeke. And they are being reckless, very indisciplined. The number of accident cases that we have recorded from January to June, July. Terrible.
It's a mess.
It's as if there is no law. There is no regulation guiding them on the roads. Please, drivers, today is Friday. We beg you. People will be traveling. People will be going out of Accra. People will be going out of their various cities. Take it easy on the roads. The speed, here, you rush and you go and die. So please take it from us. Passengers also, you have a very big responsibility to play whilst you are sitting in that car. Well, we'll leave it here. And then hopefully Monday we are back with another edition. It's a weekend. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. My name is Randy Ahadzi. It's a wrap for now. Bye-bye.
Charlie.